To all my young friends who are studying in intermediate and they are watching this video, welcome to Calculus Made Easy series. Today we are going to discuss tangents and normals. I hope that you must have seen my previous video. If you have not seen it, please do see that. So before we start our topic of tangents and normal, let us just have a small brush up on geometrical interpretation of derivative. Although we had discussed this when we covered the topic of differentiation in our previous videos, but nevertheless it's no harm in discussing it once again, because here also it is quite important. Say this is a curve, you have a point P and you have a point Q. Just join this by this blue line. Do you know what this blue line is called? It is called secant. Or if you join P by Q just like that, it is called a chord. But this line is called a secant. Now if you start moving point Q towards P, what will happen? Slowly. Now in certain position where Q coincides with P, this line will become tangent. So the limiting position of PQ, when Q moves nearer to P, it just coincides with P, that is called the tangent at the point P. Suppose this is a curve y is equal to fx. You take point P here, you take point Q, just join it. This is your secant. Let it make an angle phi with x-axis. Draw a tangent at P. For example, if it makes theta with x-axis, this is R, where tangent cuts x-axis and where secant cuts x-axis. This is S. Draw a line parallel from P to x-axis. If this is phi, then this angle is also phi, because when parallel lines are cut by a traversal, these corresponding angles are equal. Hope you are very clear with this basic theorem of geometry. So this is phi. Now drop a perpendicular from P and Q on x-axis. Say this is T and this is U, this is V and this is W. Now if OT is A, then what is the value of PT? OT is the x coordinate and PT is the y part of P. If the coordinate of point P is x, y, then x is A and y part is this PT. Now we know that y is equal to fx, so is equal to fa. So the PT becomes fa. The coordinates of P are A and fa. Similarly, if Q is very close to P and there is only a delta A increment here, so this distance means this distance will be fa plus delta A, similar to what we did here. So that means the coordinate of Q are A plus delta A and fa plus delta A. So hope you are all clear with this. Now what is tan phi? Tan phi is this side upon this side, means it is QV upon PV. Now QV is fa plus delta is this whole height until this is your fa till. So QV is fa plus delta A minus fa upon PV is delta A. So tan phi is this, what we have written. Now as the point Q approaches P, the limiting position of the chord PQ is the tangent. When Q just coincides with P, this blue line will become tangent and this phi angle will become theta. When Q coincides with P, that means this delta A will become 0. So we write f a plus delta a minus f a upon delta a limit delta a tending to 0. This is your tan theta. Now what is this? This is the derivative at point P. So which is f dash a. P is AFA. So this is f dash a. That means in this case tan theta will become tan phi. So finally we conclude, which we discussed earlier, the derivative of fx at a point P is the slope of the tangent to the curve y is equal to fx at point P. So if you want to know the derivative at any particular point of curve, say here, just draw a tangent, see what angle it makes with the x-axis. So tan theta is your f dash x at whatever the point. So derivative of fx at any point is the slope of the tangent at that point. Now we start the topic of tangents and normals. Suppose this is our curve y is equal to fx. We have a point P, AP on the curve. We draw a tangent at P. Say this is AB. So this is the tangent. Now if we draw a line perpendicular to AB passing from P like this, CD. Do you know what this line is called? This line is called normal. We write it here. Now if MT is the slope of tangent at P, so MT you know is equal to f dash a, because the derivative at a, that is what we discussed just now. Now if Mn is the slope of normal, since these two lines tangent and normal are perpendicular, MT into Mn is equal to minus 1. I hope that you know this, otherwise I'll just tell you. If there are two lines with slope m1 and m2, then angle between them, tan theta, is equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. Now if the lines are perpendicular, denominator will be 0. That means m1 m2 is equal to minus 1. So slope of normal Mn is equal to minus 1 upon Mt, which is equal to minus 1 upon f dash a. So I hope this is clear to you. So we write equation to the tangent at P. Now what is the equation of tangent? Now there is one more theorem in coordinate geometry, that is the line having a slope m passing from point x1 and y1. Its equation is y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. Now here the slope of the tangent m is f dash a and y1 is b here and x1 is a. So the equation of tangent is y minus b is equal to f dash a x minus a. So this is the equation of the tangent. M, you write f dash a. Now what is the equation of normal? That will also pass from this point AB, but the slope of normal will be minus 1 upon f dash a. So equation of normal will be y minus b is equal to minus 1 upon f dash a x minus a. I hope this is clear. So we'll write it like this. So this is the way you find the equation of tangent and normal to any point on the curve. Now, there are 2-3 very important things which need to be discussed here. One is that in case of corner on the curve, dy by dx does not exist. This we have discussed when we discuss differentiability. Suppose these are your curves. So in all these cases, you have corners. Here dy by dx does not exist. The reason, right derivative is not equal to left derivative. That means when dy by dx does not exist, so tangent is not possible at these points. Some people may wonder why it is not possible. I'll just clarify. Suppose this is a corner. Anybody will say tangent is a line which is touching this point. So why it is not possible? So say we have drawn here, but there can be infinite number of lines which can be drawn like this. I have only drawn few. And one more thing you can note, that left derivative, which is the slope of this red line, is not equal to the right derivative, which is slope of green line. But if the curve is smooth, there is only one line which will be touching it. And if you take the left derivative and the right derivative, I have taken slightly on the right side and slightly on the left. The left is red line, the right is green line. Suppose you just from left you move to this point, from right you move to this point, and from left. So both these lines, red and green, will coincide. That means right derivative is equal to left derivative. So there is only one tangent. Function is differentiable. That is what we discuss when we discuss differentiability. One more important thing is horizontal and vertical tangents. What is a horizontal tangent? When the tangent is parallel to x-axis. What is a vertical tangent? When the tangent is perpendicular to x-axis. Now curve y is said to have a horizontal tangent at any point A and FA. When will it be horizontal? When f dash A is equal to 0. Then only, suppose this is your curve and the tangent is parallel to x-axis. So tan theta is equal to 0 because it makes 0 angle with x-axis. So f dash A is 0. Here there is no problem in that. But for vertical tangent is only possible when fa plus h minus fa upon h. That means derivative at a point A is either plus infinity or minus infinity. That means the right derivative and the left derivative, either they are plus infinity or they are minus infinity. But if left derivative is minus infinity and right is plus, or the reverse of that, then we cannot have vertical tangent. Now I'll explain you why that happens. First of all, let us discuss horizontal tangent. That's very easy. Tangent, if it is horizontal, you can see these are all horizontal tangents. In all these cases, f dash x is 0. So dy by dx is 0. Wherever you will have dy by dx as 0, the tangent is going to be parallel to x-axis. But vertical tangent, For vertical tangent, we say that the right derivative and left derivative, that means the derivative should either be minus infinity or plus infinity. Why do we say that? That is very important. So let us understand with some examples and curve of tan x. First of all, let us see examples. You have a curve here at a point A, you have a tangent shown by this red line. This is a vertical tangent. Say it is making 90 degree with x-axis. Again, you have a curve like this. At point B, we have a vertical tangent. Or you have a curve like this. At point C, we have a vertical tangent. Now, in all these cases, if I ask you, this tangent makes an angle of 90 degree with x-axis. So, every one of you will tell me that dy by dx in all these cases is infinity. That is, you will have the slope of these lines is infinity. That is, angle is 90 degree. But that is not the case. In first case, we have dy by dx as plus infinity, means right derivative and left derivative, they both are plus infinity. And in this case, they both are minus infinity. But in this case, right derivative is plus infinity and left is minus infinity. How is this possible? You have the same line, but why these three conditions? Here also it is vertical line, here also vertical, here also vertical. So let me explain. So before we understand, we have to have a look at the curve of tan x. We draw the curve of tan x from 0 to pi. Tan 0 is 0, tan pi by 2 is infinity. I have shown in green color because tan is positive in this area. But when you cross pi by 2 and move towards pi, again tan becomes 0. But if you start moving from pi towards pi by 2, tan becomes negative and this goes to minus infinity. Consider an angle alpha here between 0 and pi by 2. So tan of alpha will be this value. Alpha is acute, then tan alpha is positive. Now we slowly move from alpha to pi by 2. So what will happen? If you slowly move the tan, suppose you move to this place, alpha dash, so tan will be this value. And as you move, the tan will go on increasing. It is as if somebody is going on this, sprinter is racing on this track. Let's imagine. So where he will reach? He will reach plus infinity. But if you have an obtuse angle beta here, the tan of obtuse will be negative. And as you beta is obtuse, tan beta is negative. Now you start moving from beta towards pi by 2, tan will further start decreasing. Here it will become here even less, moving towards minus infinity side. So if somebody like a sprinter walks in this or races on this track, he will reach minus infinity. That means if you move from acute angle side towards pi by 2, you will reach plus infinity. However, if you move from obtuse side towards the same pi by 2, you will reach minus infinity. Hope this is clear. Then let's understand the three cases. First is increasing function. See, this is increasing function because you can see in this portion also the function is increasing. It's going up. And second portion also it is increasing. Now I divide the function into graph into two parts. left of A and right of A. And from A, we join this point for finding left derivative. What do? You just start moving this point closer to A in order to find the left derivative. Now you can see that the angle in this case is acute. The more close this point moves, here this angle is acute, here it increases, here again it increases, and finally when this point reaches A, it becomes 90. So that means it becomes 90 from acute side. So left derivative is plus infinity. Now if you see the other part, again the slope of this line, this angle is also acute. So this is positive. So positive sign again when this point reaches A, so you will reach plus infinity. So that means the left derivative and right derivative both are plus infinity. The second function which we discussed just now, it is decreasing. You can see this function is decreasing. Again, we divide it into two parts. Again, we try to find left derivative. So we take a point here and then we move along the curve like this. Here the slope is, this is obtuse. So as we move closer towards 90, now we move from obtuse side, and finally when this point coincides with B, the slope of line becomes minus infinity. So left derivative is minus infinity. Similarly on the right side, again you can see this angle is obtuse. So as you move from this point towards B, it reaches minus infinity. So right derivative and left derivative both are minus infinity. In both the previous case and this case, we have a vertical tangent. However, if we have this kind of curve and you divide it into two, here on the left side, this is decreasing function. That means this angle is obtuse. So left derivative, as we discussed earlier, will be minus infinity, but right derivative, since the angle is acute here, that will be plus infinity. So in this case, since the right derivative is not equal to the left derivative, vertical tangent does not exist. I hope I am clear with all these cases. So what we discuss for horizontal tangent, f dash x should be equal to 0. For vertical tangent, f dash x should be either plus infinity or minus infinity. That means if the point is A, f a, we will see f a plus h minus f a upon h limit h tending to 0 should be either plus infinity or minus infinity. Then only vertical tangent is possible. However, if the left derivative and the right derivative are different, that is one is plus infinity and one is minus infinity, vertical tangent is not possible. That's all in the theory part. Now let's try some questions so we get a more clarity on this topic. Let's take the first question. Find the slope of the tangent to the following curves. So first curve we have y is equal to 5x square at this point. So you have to find dy by dx, or we write y dash is equal to 10x. Now y dash at minus 1, 5 is equal to 10 into minus 1, which is equal to minus 10. Let's see what is the answer. So that's the answer. Pretty simple. Second is slope of the tangent for this curve at theta is equal to pi by 6. Now this equation is given in parametric form. So dy by dx is equal to dy by d theta upon dx upon d theta. Now dy by d theta is a sec square theta upon a sec theta tan theta, which is equal to 1 upon sine theta. So dy by dx is equal to this. So dy by dx at pi by 6 is equal to 1 upon sine pi by 6 is 1 by 2. So this is 2. So 2 is the answer. Third is this equation at AB. Now just differentiate it. N x n minus 1 upon a raised to the power n plus n y n minus 1 y dash upon b raised to the power n is equal to 0. That means y dash or dy by dx is equal to